Hi, I'm Danielle, and welcome to this Enchant House. So the idea for this video came from a short I posted. I've been posting fit checks of all my outfits and all my different aesthetics on social media for a bit now, and I posted this one. And overall, really positive. Thank you guys for all your positive feedback. But I got a couple comments like, oh, this is cute, but it's not really steampunk. Cue my imposter syndrome, and I'm like, oh my god, did not read steampunk, oh my gosh. And then I had to remind myself that I've been doing steampunk stuff for over 14 years. I've been into steampunk a little longer, but it's been about 14 years since I started dressing up in steampunk and going to steampunk events and doing all these steampunk things. So I thought I'd talk today about how my journey into steampunk and talk about dressing up and doing events and all the fun things involved with steampunk and how to be a steampunk. But first off, for all of you who don't know what steampunk is and wondered if this is your first steampunk video, or let's talk about what steampunk is. Steampunk is a genre and an aesthetic. It deals with the Victorian industrial age, and it's sort of this future reimagined if steam power had been more advanced or technologies of today had been introduced in the past, or just sort of a reimagining of what the future would look like with this sort of Victorian aesthetic overlay. So we can break it down into two words, steam and punk. Steam refers to the age of steam, which is, like I said, the Victorian industrial age. So we're looking at things that are Victorian, but in particular that deal with industry or technology and sort of this retro future Victorian landscape. But there's also this sort of punk aspect to it, and the punk aspect deals with sort of anachronisms and reimagining. So if you think of like punk fashion, what would Victorian punk fashion look like? How would people adjust to it? And we see all these like different takes on how Victorians look. Also, as a reminder, I did a steampunk video, a whole thing, deep dive, check it out. So let's go through my journey through steampunk, and I will try to break down things and talk about some points I want to make as I go along the way here. So let's take a look at baby's first steampunk. So I apologize, I was not great about taking pictures of my outfits early on, but this is my very first steampunk look. I wore it to the first World Steam Expo in Dearborn, Michigan, back, I want to say, 2010? I can tell. So I got into steampunk around 2007, 2008. Events really didn't start cropping up until 2009, at which point I was pregnant with that cute little baby in the picture, who is my son, who's now a teenager. But yeah, this is my first steampunk outfit. It's very, very simple for the most part. It's a poet's blouse, like from a Ren Fair outfit. The vest is Pyramid Collection. It's like red velvet, and I've got my choker. And then the pride and joy of this whole outfit were the goggles I made. And so these are what the goggles look like. And this is my first steampunk project. And that's my first thing I want to point out is steampunk. Dressing steampunk is usually a combination of things you buy, things you DIY. There's a lot of vintage finding and repurposing of things. And these are just welding goggles that I painted, and I was so proud of them. And I actually still am. They still really hold up. If I wear them, people ask me about them. But yeah, I was really proud of these and how they turned out. But yeah, so this is my outfit for the first day of the steampunk convention. And also I'm wearing black jeans. Which also brings me to my second point. If you're just starting getting into steampunk, or really any fashion or style, don't worry about being a beginner, because everybody starts as a beginner. And we're going to see some of my later looks, and this is where I started, and it's very basic. like I had like the gothy top because I like gothy stuff, and the Poet Plus because I did Ren Fair stuff, and then I made the goggles and black jeans, and that was an outfit, and it worked, and I fit right in. No one said anything to me. No one criticized me then, but also everyone was kind of new to it too. This is not the first steampunk convention. I'm pretty sure TeslaCon happened the year before, which I of course missed because I had just given birth, or was I still like pregnant? I don't know. But at TeslaCon, I have never ever actually gotten to go to TeslaCon. Things always seem to get in the way. One day maybe I'll get to go, but yeah. So 2 tips of advice. First of all, you're going to have all sorts of different sources for your steampunk outfits, and so this one is very much a closet cosplay type steampunk with one thing I was really proud of and put a lot of effort into. Second, baby's first steampunk. It's okay. Your first steampunk outfit doesn't have to be miraculous. You're trying things on, you're figuring things out for yourself, and you're figuring out what you want and what you don't want. So let's go to the second outfit. The outfit I also wore to the same SteamCon is this purple suit from Recollections, and I don't think they make this anymore. Recollections is a Victorian clothing brand. They do not like historically accurate, but they're fairly period accurate. I guess the way I put it is the construction's very modern. They use a lot of modern techniques, and there's like a lot of modern fastenings and things, which I know some historical dress people. But for steampunk, they have the right silhouettes. They have the right sort of look to them, and they work great for steampunk outfits. Also cottagecore, they're like one of my favorite cottagecore outfits, and I have a couple pieces from them that I've collected over the years. They are kind of a little bit investment pieces. They're pricey, but you can wear them again. And the great thing is, if you notice, this suit's actually probably too big for me in this picture, and I still can wear it. It still fits me. A lot of the clothes we're going to see I have sized out of over the years, but that's normal and healthy. So, but yeah, this is actually just a Victorian suit. This outfit's much more Victorian. I didn't have a lot of steampunk accessories at the time, and I felt like I'd already wore the goggles the first day, and they were the showpiece of that outfit. And and I hadn't really had a chance to wear this Victorian suit I had anywhere. So I was really excited for the opportunity to wear steampunk. It's great. It has a little purple bust in the back, and you'll see probably the skirt a lot. I use the skirt a lot in the other outfits throughout the years. But yeah, this is an example of something of an investment piece where I've invested in it. I've gotten a lot of wear out of this suit. I've worn it several times, and but this is otherwise, if you look, this is a very pared down look. Like I have a tank top underneath it because I didn't have like any blouses or anything. I think the jewelry's just some very pretty costume jewelry I have. The purse is a little black bag that I still have. It's like a little dressy bag I think I got for like when I was in high school for like school dances. Also, just so you guys know, I'll probably be mentioning a lot of places while I'm going to be talking about the differences between buying and making things and stuff. I will try to include links to all the places where I've bought things if they still exist or you can still get them, and there'll be a bunch of links below for that. So yeah. So let's roll ahead to the second year. This year I made a dress. I made an outfit using the Simplicity pattern, and this is how it turned out. I really wish I had better pictures of this. Like I said, it's really bad getting pictures of this. I absolutely love this outfit. I did wear it to a couple different Steam conventions and stuff before, once again, I sized out of it. So what I did was I took that pattern and I just left the sleeves off, and I wore like this really big flowy Poet's blouse, which I think I still have and still kind of fits. It's a little tighter than it used to be. But I made this outfit myself. I was super proud of it. I still am. This is a really great outfit. There are some things I would do differently. So there's that under corset vest. There were 2 things I would do differently now if I were to make it. The first, well, I don't know if I would do this. So I would either do one or the other. So the pattern has a zipper up the back and used like the boning you get at the fabric store, which is very flimsy boning. It's meant to keep the shape but not necessarily hold you in. Well, I was online in a lot of sewing forums, and people always recommended using zip ties from the hardware store, that they were more sturdier and they would hold you in more. So I used zip ties, but I left the zipper in, which meant that there was no flexibility in this piece, and it would like slide up and down on me a little bit. Like it was just this tube, and whenever I moved, like as if I was standing still, it fit perfect. But as I started to move, it would move around rather than flex and bend with me. So I would have either put lacing in the back instead of a zipper, or I would have used the flimsier. I think I would have put lacing in the back, honestly, because that's been my go-to ever since I've started. This is my first corset, and I did love the fabric. The fabric I got on clearance, and it was really this really pretty peacock blue fabric, and then I paired it with this brown velvet, and it was really one of my favorite outfits. I still have this packed away, and yeah, I absolutely love this outfit. Oh, so my next piece of advice: don't be afraid to make things. Like, really, I talked about the goggles, I talked about this. This is like my first time making a corset. The goggles, my first time painting things, and I would paint lots of other cool accessories, and I'll kind of talk about some of them as we go on. Don't be afraid to get your hands dirty. Making things is great, making things is fun. And once again, your first one maybe might come, you will be surprised at how well your first thing comes out. And yes, you'll make things later, and you'll look back and you'll find things you could have improved on them, on those other things. Like even my goggles, I really wish I had like a ribbon tied on my head because I was afraid to work with leather, but now I'm really wishing I'd gone and made like a leather straps and buckles so I could buckle it on. And it's maybe if I have the stuff to make more goggles, so maybe I'll do that eventually here. Once again, you can see my son's gotten a lot bigger. And just to note, the outfit he's wearing is actually belonged to his dad when he was a baby, and my mother-in-law let me borrow it, and it was super cute. And I'm so glad I have pictures of him in that. So my second day outfit actually is kind of the reverse of the previous year where I went fancier the first day. So the second day, the first day we were there as a family, so it was like our family airship, and the second day I went a little more traditional gothy. And this is the outfit I wore, and it's just my goth clothes. It's just I'm pretty sure that's a Hot Topic corset top, and black skirt. You can see my badge hanging there, and it's like but I did, and then I paired it with the goggles because I love the goggles. And yeah, that was my second day outfit for the con. I'm gonna look at some of my other earlier steampunk outfits. I didn't dress a whole. The next year we were on vacation in Disney, and then I think that was then after there was no World Steam Expo, it kind of fell apart. And then I would have to wait for another steampunk convention, which would be a bit. But this is I think I wore this for Halloween. This is another sort of a baby's first steampunk, but with a little more. So once again, we've got a poet's blouse paired with black jeans. I'm wearing some pirate boots from the Ren Fair, but the vest I'm wearing I actually bought at the World Steam Expo, and once again I still have this. It's leather, and then the way it laced was you used hair ties, and I'm not sure I really like that, and I kind of want to go back and relook at how to do the lacing on it. But it was really cute. It had like the steampunky theme buttons, and then I've got my goggles on here again, and yeah, so this is another, I think it was a steampunk for Halloween look, and I've worn the vest, I've worn this variations on this, and maybe upgraded the jeans to some other pants or skirts and stuff, but yeah. So, we want to fast forward a little bit. You know, I'm being a mom. My third piece of advice: it's okay if you're not doing it constantly. You'll find ways to do it. Don't worry. You'll find. I'm going to talk more a little about that later. I always keep online looking for steampunk events, and like there is a active steampunk scene in Michigan, but it's mostly kind of north of where I'm at. And it's in like it's in Detroit, north of Detroit, and I'm down here in Monroe, which is. So it's always like about like an hour and a half drive for me, which, but I'm a young mom also, so have to worry about things like babysitters and stuff. So I'm not making it to the steampunk scene as much as I would like, but I'm keeping my pulse on it. And I also keep pulse on local events. Local Downtown Business Network started these first Fridays where they would have themed Fridays, and they encourage people to dress up and go and explore downtown. They don't do this anymore. There's other things that our downtown does there's still like great downtown events, but so in February they decided to have Steampunk Valentine, and I was like, oh, I have steampunk outfits, and I'd actually bought an outfit for a convention I didn't end up going to, which so I bought this dress from Dracula Fashions, and it's sort of they call it rockabilly Lolita style dress, and it's this dress, and then I bought this like little tie-on bustle that matched it, and this kind of became my go-to steampunk outfit for ages, variations on this. And I wore it to that first Steampunk First Friday, and I met my other fellow local steampunks. I didn't realize there were people in Monroe who were into steampunk, and that was the founding of the Monroe Steam Salon. my next few years, we see an explosion in my steampunk wardrobe because I am a member of the Monroe Steam Salon, and we do lots of things, and we still do lots of things. So this outfit became my go-to steampunk, and because I had people to go with, I would maybe go up to other events too. But this outfit, variations of it, with the brown corset or a black corset, with this hat, which is from Blonde Swan, which is a wonderful hat maker. They do Renaissance steampunk type hats. They are at all sorts of conventions and Ren fairs, and they'll be linked down below. So this outfit became my go-to outfit. I would kind of mix and match the pieces. There's the Dress and the Bustle from Dracula Clothing. A variety of corsets. Most of them are kind of the cheapy I kind of picked up from mass manufactured. I will talk about my good corsets in a moment when I get more into corsetry, but from now they were more to be decorative than to be corsets. I have my hat from Blonde Swan, which I wear a lot, or I will pair it with the goggles that I made. You also see this brown skirt that gets thrown in the mix at this point. I bought that from a company that no longer exists as far as I know, called Dress Like a Pirate, but it's really neat. It's a brown skirt, but the front has the tie so I can pull it up front or make it hang a little lower, and I can adjust it to fit weather skirts, and I use it as an overskirt for a lot of things I wear, or sometimes just as a skirt. So this outfit becomes my go-to. You can see I'm accessorizing different ways. Do I have a good pair? So these shoes just fell apart on me after 15 years, but I had these really cute steampunk Mary Janes I would wear, especially a lot with this one. Or I would pair it with like cute brown boots. I have a cute pair of granny boots I wear a lot, but sometimes different tights. Like I usually try to look like get like a knit pattern tight. So yeah, I've had this outfit and I've done lots of variations on it. This is my most recent. So I am also interested in Lolita fashion, and we will bring this up again a little bit later, but I submitted this to Lovely Lore, who has a great YouTube channel. If you're interested in Lolita fashion, it's a great starting point. She has a makeover series. I said, hey, how can I make this look Lolita? And this is my attempt at making it look more Lolita with a fuller petticoat and accessorizing it, making it a little more cutesy. So yeah, so this is an outfit that still fits, thankfully, and it ends up in my regular steampunk rotation. Having a go-to steampunk outfit is also another tip of mine. So if you're dressing steampunk, having an outfit, like I love to experiment out and play, I have lots of different things, but this is sort of like, if I want to be steampunk, this is sort of my go-to outfit, and I really enjoy it, and it's one of my favorites. The other thing I want to talk about is, where's a steampunk? So I am very lucky to have a very active steampunk group locally, the Monroe Steam Salon, and I'll have a link to our Facebook below. We've moved kind of more to doing private things, but we do a couple things every year. We have a picnic every year that is open to the public, and we also usually try to do several invasions. We do at least one to our local Comic-Con, and we'll try to dress up for steampunk and like go to teas and different things, and we have a lot of the outfits from here on out were for steampunk events through the Steam Salon. The first outfit I wore to a tea at one of our local libraries, and it's this outfit here, and this is a very casual steampunk because sometimes you want to be over the top and elegant and have all the fa, and sometimes you just want to have a very subtle steampunk look, which means, blouses, vests, skirts. So this outfit I wore to one of our teas. Honestly, this is a closet steampunk look for the most part. The blouse is this print blouse I just had as part of my wardrobe, and this cute little black lace skirt and the vest, and then the hat I bought was an impulse buy there's a hat store in Disney, and I bought it. And yeah, tiny toppers are, I think, one of those divisive things. Either people love them or hate them. I'm of the mind that you can wear them, but you have to wear them correctly. You can't just have your bare head pop. And I've tried to put this one on in a way that looked more fast. You should treat tiny toppers like they're fascinators, not hats. So it's like very forward on my forehead, and I've got my hair poofed out and back more, so it hopefully looked okay. I think there are angles it looks very bad at, but this picture, I think the angle looks okay. So yeah, this is one of my first steampunk teas this is one of my first teas that we went to. We invaded as a steampunk group, and it's a very closety cosplay, so I didn't feel too overwhelming. My next outfit actually is, so like I said, we have the Steam Salon has a picnic every year, and the thing about steampunk is you tend to think of these heavy Victorian outfits, and going out and sitting in the sun is not not necessarily where we go with that. So this is an adaptation, and this is my kind of next tip is don't be afraid to adapt steampunk into different forms. So because our summer picnic is outside in August in like where it can be really hot, we've lucked out and had some really nice mild days for our steampunk picnic, but in general I'm looking for a more summer. So I think this is the first outfit I ever wore to a our first Steam Salon picnic, and it's just this green navy button shirt dress that I kind of poked open because it was thrift find, and it didn't quite fit here and I didn't have time to adjust it, so I've got like a brown t-shirt on underneath. I've got some steampunk jewelry. I've got a parasol because it's hot. It's a very basic steampunk look, and it's also a point where I can talk about a little bit, might be a good point time to talk about variation in steampunk. So steampunk can get combined with other things. We think of steampunk as this very Victorian industrial, but Victorian, there's a lot of variety within Victoria and also within steampunk. So the outfit I just showed has a little more sort of military, maybe airship feel. So, you know, I look more like maybe I'm a crew member on an airship or a mechanic or someone who works a little more with their hands. Whereas this outfit I wore to a steampunk picnic is much more cottagecore and much more country. It's very inspired. I had this really cute little Edwardian style blouse I bought. It was off the rack type thing. This is one of my first really good corsets I'm wearing in here. And I had this cute little patchwork skirt, and I've got my hat, and so it's Victorian, and I've got my little steampunk jewelry on, and so just pull a little more steampunk. But it fits right in. You don't have to necessarily heavily into the industrial part of it. You can lean into other sort of avenues. But once again, this is very much adapted for summer. I'm wearing sandals again because it's hot. You'd be surprised the corset's cotton, so it was actually pretty breathable. The shirt's cotton breathable. The skirt was lace, but you know, we've got cotton petticoat underneath of it, so I felt really comfortable. And then I've got, of course, my big straw hat. This is another cottagecore steampunk look, where I just donned this orange dress and the straw hat, and then I threw some goggles on the hat to make it steampunk. Here's a more recent one where I wore a vest and blouse, and I've got this really pretty long skirt, and I have blinged out the vest in the steampunk paraphernalia. I think this is a really cute outfit, and I just really love it. So, and that brings us to maybe my most recent steampunk outfit that I've worn to a picnic, which is the one that was the whole start of this whole video, which is this outfit. And I love this outfit. This is when I respond to people, I'm like, hey, I'm playing around with steampunk. This is me being a little experimental. And also, once again, this is a summer outfit. This is meant to be worn out in the heat. So the dress in this is actually an apron, and it's also from Recollections, and it's their like Edwardian apron, but they said you could wear this dress. So I tried wearing this dress. I feel like it still needs an underskirt. Like, this is a very first time experimental look, which brings me to the next point. No outfit is set in stone. It is fine to change things up and move things around and play around with things. And you're going to see, like, you've probably noticed that there's pieces that repeat for me, and I mix and match pieces, and I have a whole basic kind of steampunk wardrobe. Like some of the pieces you see here right now I'm wearing are pins that are my sort of regalia for when I'm being sort of at a steampunk group, and I'll talk more about these in a minute too. So this look was meant to be a little cottagecore, but also sort of feel like industrial, like maybe, you know, I work on a very fancy airship or something. Or it's a very sort of lean much more into kind of a punk idea of steampunk than a traditional Victorian idea of steampunk. But also, like I said, this experiment. So, like, the belt I'm wearing, I felt like once I got the dress on, I felt like I needed something here. So I paired it with this sort of more Renaissance-y belt, which I think is part maybe, and I maybe will look at maybe doing something more traditionally corseted here maybe, or something like maybe just pulling in a leather belt. But I kind of liked how it looked, at least in the mirror that day. If you notice, my bows are actually very steampunk accessories. They got little gears and stuff, and they're maybe a little too fancy for this outfit, but I really liked how it looked, and I like having my hair up. But yeah, this is a really, once again, lots of cotton, so it was very cool. You can see my white underskirt petticoat in there, which I don't know. I don't have a brown one, so, but I'm wondering if like I had a brown that had maybe some little lace or something or some trim on it that would I could just wear underneath. It would look really great. These are most of my summer looks, but I'm going to talk about one more that actually ended up looking really, really like traditional steampunk, and it's one that whenever I post it, people really like it. One year, in addition to doing this, our group volunteered to be in the parade as part of the Comic-Con because we dress up for the Comic-Con every year, and I'll show you some of those looks in a minute. We dress up for the Comic-Con every year, and this look I put together is honestly just me pulling things from my closet and trying to, so this look is keep cool, but also like really be over the top steampunk. And it resulted in this look, which I think is my most steampunk, traditionally looking steampunk look ever. It's this look. So you might recognize the corset and the brown overskirt. And then the corset actually had this little jacket, and I'd never worn it before, but I wore it with this. It's just like a t-shirt. It's a very cotton t-shirt. And then once again, I've got the regalia. The bowler is actually my husband's, and I borrowed it, and I put the goggles on it as a decoration. The parasol I've actually used a lot, but I don't have a lot of the pictures for some reason, but it was... I cannot think of the lady who made it. I bought it at my first SteamCon, or either my first or second SteamCon. It's covered in lace and has all sorts of steampunk doodads on it. It's one of my favorites, and it just looked amazing here. And I'm just wearing boots and some fingerless gloves because to sell the look. And then I've got, because I've also got goggles. I've also, because it was a bright sunny day, I wore these tinted linen sunglasses, and they just made the look. And these two pictures are really all I have of this look, but it's like I absolutely love how it turned out. I actually love these pictures, and yeah, so this is like the most traditional steampunk look. And then so we can talk about what traditionally people think of steampunk. I do a lot of different colors and variations, and I've had this argument online with like the historical fashions, like, oh, steampunk is so brown. Victorians didn't wear brown. Yeah, and steampunks don't either. We love color, and we experiment with color. But yeah, brown is very much the traditional steampunk. There's a joke that steampunk is when goths discovered the color brown. But truly, color is, steampunk can be any color you want. There have been people who have done all sorts of great colorful things and experimentation. And yeah, so that's my next step is experiment. Experiment with color, experiment with style, just experiment. But yeah, so those are my summer steampunk looks, which it sounds like you have to necessarily think about it, but if you're doing an outdoor event and dressing up, you definitely have to think about it. So I'm going to share some other steam salon looks. We're going to go just I'm just going to kind of go through them randomly. So I do have one more convention look. Well, I've worn that my go-to look to conventions all the time. It's very over top. One year we decided, our Steam Salon group, we're going to enter the fashion show as an airship. So we decided so I needed to come up with something, speaking of color, purple. So that's because we decided that's our kind of our flag's colors, and so you notice I have a lot of purple here even. But I came up with this outfit, which is one of my favorite steampunk looks. It's just, this is a thrifted purple button-up blouse I had, plain black skirt. What really sells this is the corset. This is one of those cases where not my first investment in corsets, but I started investing in corsets because you can make your own corset, but there are people who make corsets and they are very talented. This is my first ties that bind corset. Was this beautiful purple celestial, and it's like not necessarily what you think of steampunk, but when you pair it with this outfit and everything else, it looks really great. You see there's this bodice jewelry which I bought at that con, and I don't know, once again, I'm not sure who made it, but it was really pretty. I got some of these. I didn't have this melt. This is new. This is from a friend of mine named Terry, and I will post her link to her business down there. She does all sorts of ribbons and cockades and all sorts of cool sewing things and geeky things, so please check her out. This purple outfit is one of my favorite outfits. I did wear it in my original steampunk video and my Hendrix Gin unboxing video. But the other thing that really sells this outfit is the goggles. These are Spirit Halloween goggles from their steampunk collection, and they had these ones that had these great faceted gemmy lenses, and I love them. And they're a Halloween costume thing, but they help really sell especially when I go purple sparkly outfits. So yeah, that's another tip, is don't discount anything. Like, you can find steampunk stuff for steampunk anywhere, whether it's the thrift store, the Halloween store, your regular store. Obviously, there are a ton of great online craftsmen out there who I highly recommend on like Etsy, or have their own businesses, who are selling at conventions, and I highly recommend checking them out. So speaking of corsets, one of my other favorite corset makers is Damsel in Distress, and I own 2 corsets by them. I have this really brown one, and I know I've worn a steampunk outfits, but I could not find any pictures of me wearing it. So, but I do have a blue one that's more of like it's really neat. It's like a corset, but it's also a bit of a tailcoat, and I have at least 2 pictures of me wearing it. First is for a Halloween costume. My family has a big Halloween party every year. One year was Adventures Club, and I wore this outfit. For the most part, I do love how this outfit looks, but there is one thing I would change, and I think I would have dropped the matte corset from the outfit. I'm not sure what I was thinking. I don't know if I like how that looks. But this is, once again, kind of cottony t-shirt, corset, skirt. It's a very go-to basic pattern for me. You find different combinations that really work for you. I love having something corset. I have a corset or a jacket, blouse, skirt, go-to combination. Meant for guys, it could be like waistcoat, shirt, trousers, and then you play it up and you mix up and you try things. So the other time I wore this is we do an invasion of our local Comic-Con every year, and for one of the first times we did it, I wore it was this outfit, and this has a very different feel. This feels much more, I don't know, this feels a little lighter and more adventure. Like, that felt steampunk, like with the long skirts. I paired this with a short skirt and leggings. I got these great boots that I've worn for more cottagecore looks at this point. The blouse is actually, I bought in Disney World. They used to sell this as the Pirates of the Caribbean. It's this very great pirate blouse that I've paired with a lot of outfits over the years. It's got this great ruffly neck. So another look I wore is this variation on something like was a more casual steampunk look. Was this outfit here, which is all thrifted. I ditched the belt this year, though I kind of wish I had something and put something with this, but it's so the showpiece is the blonde swan hat, and then I've got my thrifted jacket and blouse and skirt, even the purse, the little basket purse, and it was a cute little outfit for that year. So let's talk some more tea outfits. So some other steampunk outfits that I've worn to like teas or indoor events. There is this outfit, which is another Recollections vest and shirt. I am unhappy how I accessorize this outfit. Like, I love this outfit, and I'm actually, maybe I have a steampunk event coming up that I'm gonna maybe wear this to, that I'm gonna try rearranging things, new things. This headband actually I made to go with that very remember way back, like my second World Steam Expo outfit, the one outfit I made with the peacock, the peacock that corset and brown jacket. I made to go with this, and I have worn it with that. I don't have a picture of that for some reason. I do love how this headband, it's really simple. I had this brown headband, and I just glued this little feather thing I found with a little gear, and it's really cute, but I think I glued it far too up. Like, it needs to be down here more, and it's up here, so it looks really weird when I wear it like this, and I don't like it with this outfit. I'm gonna try something different maybe this week. Try something different when I try this outfit again. But I do love this I do love this vest and skirt combo from Recollections. By the way, one of the things I do love about them is you can ask for different skirt lengths. So I have this in the shortest length, so I can wear it kind of whenever. Anyways, I did wear this again after recording this video, and I love how it turned out. I love it with the beret. I paired it with a new blouse, and I think this look is like one of my favorites now. Absolutely love it. So here is another steampunk outfit I wore to. We went to a tea at a local restaurant. They started offering afternoon tea and kind of invited us, said, hey, we would love you to come in and take pictures and tell us what you think. And we really enjoyed it. It's Public House. I don't know if they still do afternoon tea, but it's one. If you are in Monroe, they are a great restaurant to go check out. I'll have a link for them too, I guess. But I have this outfit, which I bought, is my first real attempt at doing something the Steampunk Lolita. Now, Steampunk and Lolita actually go really well together. They kind of came up as about the same time as in terms of like fashions. And so Steampunk Lolita is a subset of Lolita fashion, and I've been kind of wanting to try it for years, and like always, like Lolita fashion is Japanese fashion, so sizes run really small, and only recently have I been able to find things that are more plus size. This outfit came from a company, a reseller called Devil Inspired, and I absolutely love how this looks. It's very casual steampunk. It's actually very kind of casual Lolita. I didn't puff the skirt out as much as I could have, but it's very simple. I have this beret that I've worn with more cottagecore looks than anything else, but I put some pins on it to steampunk it up, and this is one of my favorite looks, and I'm excited to wear this one again. Speaking of Steampunk Lolita, I have a second look I did that was Steampunk Lolita, which is this purple airship look, which I absolutely once again adore. This dress I bought on Amazon on a whim. I'm pretty sure it's a knockoff of a more like established Lolita brand, and if you know, let me know in the comments. But I'm wearing it here again. I love this front button look, but it's really hard to find in plus size, but I found this dress and I love it. The fun thing is the hat is actually a kid's pirate hat costume, and then I put a little steampunk thing on it that I had, and that's a little hair accessory I bought, and I absolutely love how this outfit turned out. And once again, this is another one I'm excited to wear again. You've got the Lennon glasses. This is a very simple look, but still very steampunk. So here's another look I wore to a tee that I kind of threw together, but I absolutely love. Once again, combining some cottagecore and some steampunk stuff. This is sort of the overdress I have is more really cottagecore, but I paired it with this great little underbreast brown corset I got. There's a brown skirt, and I've got this little bolero jacket, and I think it came out really cute. We're getting into the age where I'm starting to do fit checks. The goggles, by the way, are from my Hendrix Steam unboxing video. I've mentioned that before. I did a whole video where I unboxed this box from Hendrix and included these great goggles that also have that sort of iridescence, so they get paired with sparkly things too. And you can check that out later. Another steampunk look I'll just kind of touch on is, if you've ever seen What Is My Aesthetic video, I did a bunch of looks, including the steampunk look, which is this look, which is a really casual steampunk look. This is pandemic, post-pandemic, so it was a lot of still hanging around inside, and I had fun filming this just for funsies. But yeah, this is a really simple look I just threw together. It's a closet look. The jacket's a thrift store jacket. It's one of these cute cotton sort of little t-shirt blouses I had lying around. The brown skirt you'll recognize is my overskirt, and I just have paired it with leggings, and once again these cute boots, goggles. If you watch the video, I play around with some of my steampunk guns, so I've gone on and create a lot of different little steampunk accessories. I love painting Nerf guns, and I have a whole collection of Nerf guns I've painted, and you can see them here. For my son, I made this jetpack out of pop bottles and junk I had lying around the house, and it lasted really long until it got knocked over and fell apart. But I would love to try to tackle making something like this again. This was a really fun project, and it was really cute. Like I talked about before, there was a First Friday event, and Steampunk First Fridays were quite a thing, and I usually wore my go-to steampunk outfit because I wanted to feel really over the top. Like we did tea dueling, and every year we tried to do something different, and so we did a dance party, and this is my dance party outfit. And so again, this is one I'm not totally thrilled with. I kind of threw it together last minute. One thing is I don't like my hair long with the top hat. I feel like I look like the Hatbox Ghost and the Disney ride a little bit here. I do like how I paired the goggles with it. I also do love the corset in this. Is another Ties That Bind. She bought some secondhand kimonos from Ohio Kimono, who I'm going to talk about in a minute, but they are linked down below. And she made some. This is a really like kind of unique, one of a kind corset, and I kind of need to find more. I need to find an outfit that really to pair this with. But this is sort of like, as a dance party, and we were just having fun. But one year we did a fashion show, and we did one of my favorite steampunk looks, and I've actually done this look a couple times, but this was sort of its final form. And I just kind of need to put a little context on it here, because So steampunk, we tend to think very Eurocentric with steampunk, but steampunk has an international component to it, and you see a lot of people combining their cultural heritages with steampunk. I'm going to highly recommend Airship Ashante, who do some really great Afrofuturism down below. But one area of interest for me is I'm very interested in Japanese culture because, yes, I'm an anime fan. But I try to be very cultural appreciative. But one of the really things is there's this great culture exchange that happens in the Victorian period where Japan enters what's called the Meiji era, where they try to modernize and become more Western. And whether this is colonialism or not, because it's their choice, and they're doing this to not be colonized by the West, but to keep up with the West. And so that's an issue for all you historian people out there. But there is this sort of exchange of fashion where all these kimono fabrics start coming into Europe, and this kimono style, and it becomes really popular, and that's you see adapted into tea dresses and Victorian fashion. And likewise, you see people in Japan, while they're adopting these Western fashions, they're keeping some traditional fabrics and stuff. And I really wanted to do a Victorian dress that was inspired by Japanese fashion. And in the modern times, there's actually a very good cultural exchange where I said, steampunk was in the Lulu fashion, but it's in Japanese fashion, and there are some really great combinations that combine Japanese fashion, traditional Japanese fashion with steampunk. And once again, so that's where part of my inspiration comes from. Part comes from this more older, but so I bought a kimono from Ohio Kimono. They are a great seller. They are about supporting the kimono industry in Japan, which is in some ways a dying industry, but they are very much interested in selling traditional kimono to the West because they want to keep the industry alive. So I bought this really beautiful purple yukata and have repurposed it sort of more as a jacket / bustle in this outfit that I wore for 1 year. We did a fashion show, and this is probably my favorite of all my outfits because A, I love purple, and B, it's combining a lot of my different interests, and it was this really great outfit. So there's different variations. I do have an obi, which is the traditional Japanese belt that goes with it, and I did the bow. And I do have, so here's a picture of that I wore to one of our, an earlier steampunk outing up in Ipsy. But I eventually decided I liked it better with the corset, so I have this great purple corset. And there's then I have adjusted it so, because kimonos have very cheap, so I have made it more jacket-like, and then I've taken a lot of the excess and put it in the bustle in the back. You'll recognize that purple skirt is from that very first purple suit. I've got the sparkly goggles to bring it into steampunk, and this is just one of my favorite outfits I've ever done, and I absolutely love it. And and then in my hair are some traditional Japanese decorations, but they are done up steampunk with little steampunk decor, little beads and stuff, and eventually one of those will make it on my pirate hat for my my steampunk for that purple steampunk airship captain. That's my steampunk journey to today, where I'm wearing this outfit. This is I bought this jacket on clearance from Hot Topic. It's from the School of Good and Evil, which I think was a series on Netflix I never watched, but it was just this great. I'm gonna stand up here and we'll back up a little bit here. This is great jacket. I need to tie up the corset a little more. I'm going to keep it loose but it's got that great military front on it, and it looks really cute. And I've paired it with a blouse I just happen to have, and then this ruff I just got at an estate sale, and I've been looking for an outfit, and I love how it looks with this. So I've got my steampunk regalia here, and this is actually another thing I want to talk about is, your steampunk should express who you are and where you're interested. So, I hope it's not been that way the entire time. So this pin's from the estate sale, but I've got my airship wings here because I'm really into the idea of airships. And I love the idea of having my own airship, as well as being part of an airship, the Steam Salon airship. I've got some medals I got a medal made by my friend Terry. I've got a bunch more medals. I just kind of went with what I have here. This is my C pin for the Society of Explorers and Adventurers, which is Disney's sort of secret steampunk group that's sprinkled throughout the park. Maybe I should do a video on that someday. We'll see. The other thing is, finding a steampunk group. Look online, check it online, see if there's people interested. You can start your own, of course. There are still steampunk events. There are a handful of cons throughout the country now. There's the Watch City, I believe, still goes on. There is Chicago Steam. There's the Chicago Steampunk one. There's still TeslaCon, Wild West Con. So there are still steampunk conventions. After recording this, there was an announcement that there will be a new event in Michigan called Steampunk on the Bricks in May in Jackson. I'm super excited. I hope to see you there. You can still wear them to like if you want to dress up for Comic-Con or anime conventions. I think still you would be fine. I would also suggest, like steampunk groups, just get together with some friends, and even like you can do invasions like we do, Victorian events. There is a steampunk invasion that locals do every year of our old car festival, which I've gone to, which I don't have any pictures of. So if you've seen me there and got a picture of me, let me know in the comments. But yeah, steampunk is still around. It's maybe not as popular as it once was, and I have a whole video on my Death Cottagecore talking about, how steampunk's not quite a thing. I'm gonna say 2020 really did a lot of it. And like the last event I attended, big convention in Michigan, was in 2019, and there was supposed to be one in 2020, but then 2020 happened. But yeah, so if you're interested in steampunk, I have lots of stuff on steampunk. I have my steampunk video. I would suggest maybe check out my Hendrix unboxing video. I made a steampunk Christmas tree. And yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts and suggestions. So what do you think? Am I steampunk enough? Am I? Yeah, I am. I am a die-hard steampunk. I think this is something I enjoy doing. And as long as I have friends who want to join me in doing it, or people who want to do it, I will continue to dress up and have fun. I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts, suggestions, questions, so leave me comments down below. I'd love to hear from you guys, always. So what do you think? Am I steampunk enough? Yeah, I know I am, but I'd love to hear from you guys too. I seek validation. You know the usual. If you like this video, please give it a like. Please check out my other videos. Like I said, lots of steampunk stuff here, lots of other fun, whimsy, cottagecore, fantasy stuff. Please if you like what you see here, please subscribe to keep up with the latest and the greatest. I have links to my social media down below, including my Instagram, Facebook, and Tumblr. I hope you guys have an enchanted day, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!